In our previous session, we were discussing about Acharya Tulsi's Adhyasma Padavali, and in this process, Acharya introduced us to soul, karma, and then Adhyavasai, Lesha, Bhav. So, in a way, his effort is to bring us from subtle to the gross world. We are familiar with what goes around us, but we are not familiar why it goes around us. And most important thing, we know, we don't experience the subtleness of our own existence. So he introduced us to those subtle layers, and having understood those subtle layers, now we can understand the gross world, because there are many problems in the gross world. And here today he is introducing us to man. Does man need an introduction? Do we all know about mind? There's a puzzle, right? That which is the fastest travel in this world, and it is mind. Mind is here and everywhere. So the mind, Acharya says, he gives the heading Manatantra. Manatantra. He doesn't just say mind or he gives the word tantra there to present the complexities of mind. Mind is not a simple entity; it's very complex. And to explain that complexity, he goes, the first thing he tries to say is, what does the mind do? Chitta Chetana Yoga se hai pravritta mantantra, smriti chintan parikalpana, man ke karya swatantra. So what is the role of mind? Actually, what does the mind do? And it has three important roles: smriti, chintan, parikalpana. Smriti means to think of the past. Chintan means to think of the present. And parikalpana means to imagine. Imagination usually is of the future, but it could also be the past. So if we analyze a whole we were teaching in a university at FIU, and there we would give an assignment to the students. The assignment would be that they have to choose a whole day from morning, like from waking up time to bedtime, and create a chart with all these three important components of mind: smriti, chintan, and parikalpana or kalpana, imagination, and analyze every hour. So for example, from 8 to 9, were you more in the smriti? You were just thinking of the past, with the memories of your past. Were you just thinking of something current, or you were in the world of imagination? And it's very interesting to see that minimum time what we invest is in thinking. It's either running behind in the past, thinking of what happened, memories of the past. We usually say sweet memories, right? So we are trained in a way that it is okay to have sweet memories. It's okay to keep good memories. It's nice to keep good memories. It's always good to learn from your past. But to hold on to that, many times, does good memories make you happy or sad? Oh, my mother, right? And she's not there. You love her. She's not there with you. You have good memories about her, but you miss her now. So what are we holding on to? The mind is a powerful tool, and it has lot of capacity. But what are we using? Memory of the past. We are investing and reinvesting in what happened in the past. Can it re-happen now? No. Can we get anything out of it now? No. But we still try to dwell. It's something like the ghost of the past. It haunts us every time, and we are not able to get rid of that. The second thing is parikalpana, imagination. You want to imagine what's going to happen tomorrow. How will my 2017 be? How will this project, or how will this party be? Any thing which we are doing, any business thing, business deal, or any kind of interaction you have, you start visualizing how it will happen. It is good to plan, but to dwell just into imagination is useful. There's a student who came and he said, I always miss the deadlines. Why? Because he's too much into that, oh, this should happen, that should happen, but he's constantly thinking about it. Does it do the way he's thinking? The time we invest in visualizing the whole thing, there's a big difference in visualization and just dwelling into imagination. In Preksha meditation, we do a meditation called Anupreksha, right? In Anupreksha, you try to visualize yourself in a certain manner. So for example, you have some health issue and you want to see yourself healthy back. So constantly visualize yourself that I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy. The picture you create in front of yourself, it will start transforming you, and it will start happening the exact way. That power of visualization became a transforming tool. Why? Because you chose one thing, started visualizing it, and you concentrated the thought to that degree that it became a reality. But when we are just in the world of imagination, there is no concrete, concentrated plan. We are just moving from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and we just extend it. Just kind of, for example, if you're going for a construction of the house, right? You plan this should happen that way, then you think, no, this isn't good. You switch the plan. And the plan keeps switching. What happens? Everything is just delayed. So where's the problem? Unnecessary thinking, unnecessary imagination.
Vandami, the visualization should be realistic, right? If I visualize every day, I want to start flying, no matter how much I visualize, and even to what degree I do it, I'll never be able to fly.
Yes, that is again true. There is two things in this. One is when you visualize things, your effort towards accomplishing that should again be like equally important. It's not just visualization. Visualization helps to open up the channels, right? Suppose if you start visualizing that I need to do certain things. For example, if you start visualizing that you need to go to India, but if you don't buy a ticket, can you really land up to India, right? So the initial, if I start visualizing that I should be the first in my class, it will happen. But if I don't study at all, if I don't concentrate in my exams, will I accomplish it? No. So of course, visualization needs to be backed up with your efforts and initiatives. But the point there was that the power of mind, if you take a goal and set it up and make it more concentrated. So in Acharya wrote a text, it's called Manonushashanam, and there he talks about stages of mind. The first stage of mind is deluded mind, mood mind. Mood mind is something like a person is drunk. When a person is too much drunk, he is not aware of where he is, what he's saying, what he's doing, and what he's supposed to be, where he's supposed to be going. That is delusion. That lack of awareness of what is the right choice and what I'm acting on is absent in a delusion mind. Which means if a person is too deluded, delusion does not come only by drinking. Delusion can come even to extreme egoistic person. You pick one. You see that the person would have some kind of lacking of awareness. The person would either not know the right statement he should be making because he's so egoistic. He doesn't think if he's hurting someone or not, or what he's doing, how he's doing. It's either his money speaking, or any ego could be of anything, right? It could be of the talent. we see that there are many film stars, right? When they reach to the highest kind of boom time in their career, what happens? I mean, though we are out of this world, but in our times it would be that they would have so much of uh, arrogant behaviors and stuff. What made them arrogant? Where is the delusion? It's because of that ego. So it's not just drinking, but it could be anger, it could be any other emotion. If it goes to extreme, there is delusion coming up. And in the state of delusion, one lacks Samaniji, the right perspective. What is the truth of life? What is the truth of my existence is absent there. Only then, for example, if Hitler was able to kill so many people, how could he do that? If we even think, we feel kind of, it's hard to take, right? But, and even there are other video clips, right? When people are like Saddam Hussein and stuff, when they were killing others, they were enjoying the scene, and for us it is even hard to see that scene. So that extreme state of mind, where a person is doing an extreme cruel act, but still doesn't consider it cruel. It could be, right? I might have gone angry and I feel that, oh, why am I getting angry? But I'm not able to control my anger. So there is a state where we are flawed, we have an error, but at least we are aware that this is wrong. Think of a state where the person is not even aware that this is a problem. This is wrong, and that is delusion. It is mithyatva. So the second state is distracted mind. Distracted mind is you're constantly wandering around. You want to do this project, but then you think, no, this might not be that better. I should change. When we go for, I'm not sure how the system works here, but in US, the student would join in one field, but would graduate from something very different, right? एक try किया, दूसरा try किया, तीसरा try किया, and it keeps going on. Why? Distraction. They're not pointed like for us when we were brought up. It is like, hey, you choose this and you stick to this. No matter if it's tough, it's tough. You have to go through that. But here, if you don't like it, you can change it. Will mind ever like anything? Forever. If it has to like anything forever, it's never possible. It will always get bored of something or the other. It would get bored of oneself itself, right? कभी-कभी खुद से भी बोर हो जाते हैं. So here, distracted mind is you're not able to stick to one thing. You start reading one text and then you think, no, I think that is better. The temptation of either finding something better there, the temptation that this is not fine, the mind does not have the ability to stay still. And this is the nature of mind. Mind is chanchal. The third stage is concentrated mind. When we were doing meditation, how many of you did not have any thoughts? Probably none of us, right? Which means there were some or the other thoughts coming up. We were concentrated? Yes. We were trying to focus ourselves, we were trying to meditate, but yet there were some pop-ups from here and there, from today or yesterday or from somewhere coming up. So here we see that we are trying to concentrate, we are trying to go in one line of meditation or one focused thinking or one focused reading, but there could be pop-ups coming up. And those pop-ups are natural because you've gone through that filtering. You've gone through that distraction, but now you try to come to concentration. And then Acharya says it is meditative mind, which means if you choose to meditate on Siddha, there is nothing else coming up except Siddha. You choose to meditate on Arham, there's only Arham there, nothing else. So it might come slowly or gradually. And even meditation, sometimes it is very good, right? You have wonderful experience of meditation. And at other times, it goes backwards. Why? in the schooling, we actually always go forward, right? You finish the 10th grader, you're jumping into, you never come back to the first grade, right? You never go back to the kindergarten class. It is shameful. You go back as a teacher for sure, right? But not as a student back. But in our spiritual class, we at times jump back to the kindergarten class. This is spirituality. Why? Because there is this conflict of Uday and Shobsham constantly going within us. We discussed this a little bit earlier as well. Uday means the fruition of karma. The karma gives its results. But by our effort, we try to sublime it. We try to kind of dilute that effort of karma, or we try to mild it off. So when we are listening to spiritual discourse, you have these thoughts wandering around in your mind for the whole week, and then there are moments where you try to keep calm down in difficult times. So there were situations which came up, but because we are backed up by something positive thinking, it didn't trigger. So that effort of being backed up by positive thoughts is Kshobsham, where you were trying to keep a shield which could protect you from the Uday karma. You see the difference between Uday and Kshobsham? Uday is an attack of the karma on us, and when karma is attacking on us, what do? You have an armor, right? What is that armor? That armor is your initiative, your effort to fight back. So that armor could be in the form of a positive thinking, it could be a meditation, it could be reading something. Any of these efforts which we carry is our effort of Kshobsham, which means to dilute the attack of the karma. So the moment there is the karmic force is being made sublime, then you go further, higher and higher.
Is our effort to sublime or is our effort to remove or eradicate?
It is of course to eradicate, right? Mohnye karm ko khatam karna hai, right? But it is such a big king of karmas, and to fight it, like there's a story about Shivaji. He would keep making an effort to attack on his enemy, and every time he would lose. He lost a battle. He was wandering around in the jungle and in the nearby village. He was very hungry. He went to a poor lady. She said, okay, I've prepared like garam khichdi, so why don't you have this khichdi? I mean, khichdi we are all familiar, right? So she poured a little bit of ghee in the middle of the khichdi, and then she offered him. And he, instead of started eating from the side of the plate, he put his hand in the center of the plate. It was very hot khichdi. He burnt his fingers. And there, this poor mother or this old lady, she says, you are a fool like Shivaji. Who was he? He was Shivaji, right? So he starts thinking, of course the mother didn't knew that he was Shivaji. He starts thinking, why Shivaji? I mean, why am I a fool? His bothering was not about the khichdi, but if Shivaji is a fool according to her, why? And then he politely asked this grandmother or the old lady, why do you think Shivaji is a fool? Then she explains, he's constantly attacking on his enemies. And where is he targeting? The central area of the enemies. Would he ever win? No. He should first start from this side, conquer around areas, get more power, and then when he has that enough power and strength, then he should go and attack on the central place. The same is the case with us. We have to attack Mohnye karma, right? But if we make if we wage a war today, that okay, I'm going to kill this Mohnye karma out, delete it completely, what will happen? It is a gradual effort. We try to calm it down, put it into a mild state, go for Kshobsham, intensify our Akshayopsham so much, there, through the process of Akshayopsham, we reach to the process of, to the destination of Kshay. So when we, again there is another aspect to this, other than Akshayopsham there is Upsham. So either you suppress it or you filter it out. Suppression is not considered to be the best option, but at times it could serve as a very good option. If it is too delusion or any kind of too much intense thing going in your mind, you don't want to say that, because the moment you speak it out, you will be in trouble, the other person will be in trouble, the whole month will go kind of bad. There was a couple and they said that when we have a dispute, we have a very healthy way of resolving it. What? Don't talk to each other for a month. Literally do it. After the month, does the story stay? Actually, no. But for a month, are they calm enough? Things go in their mind, right? Yes.
I think with Sharapsham as well is if there's the arising of very powerful karma and you can't deal with it, then you get papandi pap. You know, that delusion is so powerful in arising that you bind more delusion. Like anger, when anger arises, if you can't suppress a little bit, you can make you even more angry. The anger itself.
Yes. So the option of Upsham and Kshayopsham is there, and again, depending on how the situation is, you might have to go for one or the other. So if you are able to, the extreme Upsham and the extreme Kshay actually are equal, which means if there is no active functioning of the karmas, is because you have suppressed every one of them, or because you have deleted every one of them, the state of the soul is equal. The only problem is the suppression would come up after Antarmuhur, while the destruction is completely gone state. So truly, yes, we are ultimately pursuing the route of complete destruction, but then in our journey here, we either choose Kshayopsham or Upsham, and Upsham could work out miraculous, because at times if you are able to suppress, eventually it gets diluted. The emotion doesn't stay that strong. You forgive, you forget, you let go, you have much strength. Because, for example, when you come home from the office, you're very tired. In that state of tiredness, if something like if your spouse tells you something, you're more easily triggered out, right? But after a while, you've eaten your evening meals, you've taken something warm to drink, you've relaxed a bit, and after that, if you have to come to discussion, it is in a much milder tone. So you see that Upsham helps you at least to change the intensity of the rush which would come up. So in the state of meditation, we are able to, by the effort of meditation, we are able to either lead these karmic waves which are coming into the state of Kshayopsham, where we are able to release them quite a bit to make it mild and mild. And after the state of meditation is beyond mind. Do we need mind? Descartes says that I think, therefore I am, right? But can a Jain say this? No. Why? Because ultimately, the thinking is not a nature of the soul, not a faculty of the soul. It's not the attribute of the soul. Thinking is just an additional gadget which we carry until we are a living being. The moment you attain Keval Gyan, does Kevali need to think? They know everything in first hand, right? They don't have to imagine what happened. They don't, or what will happen, or why it happened. Nothing is unclear. When nothing is unclear, you don't need the mind. Why do you need mind? To contemplate, find answers, bring solutions. So here, when Acharya gives all these different stages, from delusion, deluded to distracted to concentrated to meditated to beyond mind, it's a journey from mind to beyond mind. And it might not happen in one time, it might take a while, but then it eventually has to come about. Sitting in the silence, just if you feel that when you finish a project or a work, anything, it could be just cooking or any one task, take 10 seconds off, just 10 seconds, sit quietly and observe your thoughts. That preksha of the thoughts, which are preksha, observing the thoughts can help you release it. Basically, the power of preksha is to let it go, to clean it up. When you see, for example, if there is a child who is making too much of mess and the mother sees the child, the mother doesn't say anything. It's just observing. What will happen? The child will calm down or stop making that mess. Where is the power? The power is in seeing. The moment you start seeing your own anger, when we say see yourself through yourself, what is that we are trying to see? We are trying to see different stages of ourselves, different states of mind of ourselves. See your anger, see your ego, see your fear, see your complexities you carry. The moment you start seeing it, you will start losing it. Because the culprit cannot stay when you're aware of it. The crime cannot exist when it cannot go on if you start having awareness of it. So the journey of mind is again both the ways. It is, when we say meditative mind, what is it? It is the power of mind to concentrate on something, that it could be even siddha, and help you connect to that higher level of energy. In Shukla Dhyan, there are different stages. And in different stages, they meditate. So they pick a word. It could be a word as simple as paper, right? Or a book. And then they concentrate on that. Eventually, the concentration shifts from the word to its meaning. There is a difference between the word paper, the meaning paper, and the actual paper. So can we meditate or kind of break our meditation from word to its meaning to the object? And that subtle level, if one is able to concentrate, there is Shukla Dhyan going on. So again, there is concentration, there is a meditative state. And eventually it is Keval Dhyan where there is no mind. So our journey is from mind to beyond mind. But here, if you start chasing the mind, it's like chasing the dog. You will end up nowhere. So here we don't run behind mind, we observe the mind. Preksha of mind, preksha of vichar. 10 minutes or 10 seconds of even or preksha could help you realize what's going on in you. Because we have different layers, right? We have our conscious mind, we have our unconscious trap. We are not able to really understand what's going on in our unconscious mind. In the state of dreams, you find different kinds of thoughts coming up. In the state of meditation, there are different kinds of thoughts coming up. Where did it come from? In the meditation, you should feel a happy feeling or a sad feeling. But have you ever felt negative after meditation? Because it is a cleansing process, and the cleansing process might not happen 100% while you're going through it. There are chances of having other feelings as well. So meditation is of course a wonderful journey, but if something comes up in between the meditation sessions with any pop-ups which could be unpredictable for you, unimaginable for you, just observe it, let it go. Because the moment you have the ability of observing it, it will eventually go off. There was a girl actually, we guided her through some meditation. I mean, it was a classroom setting and we were guiding meditation. We did Lesha Dhyan, the color meditation on the heart chakra. After the session, she comes up and says, there was a feeling in me, there was a grudge or some emotional baggage which I carried in me. I never knew that I still carried it. See, mind is a very subtle culprit. It can have different kinds of things in the trap where you will not even know. And most important, she said, I not only knew about it, I was able to get rid of it. So that cleansing process could happen through mind. When we ask people to check your thoughts, right? So we could do it even today. You can close your eyes and observe the number of thoughts come up within a short span of time, which I would start with Om and conclude with Om. Breathe in and breathe out, close your eyes. Focus your mind on the throat muscles. Breathe in. Om. Om. You can open your eyes with a smile. So how many of you had more than 50 thoughts? No? Around 50 and 30? Okay. Less than 30 and 20? Anyone who didn't have any thought? No thoughts? No thoughts?
Hardly one.
Hardly one. There's a person, he said that I was not having any thought, I was just thinking there is no thought. Thinking or seeing that there is no thought is a thought as well. So the subtleness of mind is there, and because it has such subtle abilities, mind can also take you to past life experience. We talk about the Purva Janam Ka Gyan, the knowledge of your past lives. According to Jainism, it is a power of mind which can help you know this as well. So it is not Avdhi Gyan or some other special knowledge. If the expertise of mind can grow to that extent, you can even go and have your past life experience. I mean, you can know your past life, you can have the past life knowledge basically. Mind is a complex entity and it has these three functions, Smriti, Chintan, Parikalpana, and as these three functions goes on, we are caught up in this web of mind. Further, Acharya says, मन की चंचलता बढ़े बढ़ता दुख का वेग हो मन की एकाग्रता घट जाता आवेग. If the mind is fickle, it is more painful, it's more misery. The moment you calm down the mind, it is calming down your emotions. We see Chanda Kaushik's line. He was very angry, very poisonous. He would kill many people. Even seeing Mahavir, he was angry, right? So if we would have seen Mahavir, we would be happy, joyful, right? That devotion would flow. But for him, it wasn't that. It was anger. And until when was the anger there? Until he did not calm down his mind. The moment Bhagwan Mahavir told him, Bujja Bujja Kimna Sambujja, why aren't you awakening? And there the whole process of thinking changed, the mind quietened, and the emotions became calm. The more a person has fickle mind, the more attacks of emotions would be there. This is true. If your mind is quiet and someone tells you something, it doesn't hurt you that much. But if your mind is already crazy, thinking around something, worried about something, even a mildest thing told to you would create an attack, would create a bomb blast. Why? The fickleness of mind is not able to take anything strong. The stillness of mind has the capacity to take anything which comes to the mind. So the more the stillness of mind, the less the avek. Ho man ki ekagrata ghat jata avek. So we have different ways of dealing with our spiritual life, right? Do you deal with mind or do you deal with emotions? Acharya Pragyaji has written a book, Kisne Kaha Man Chanchal Hai. He is going completely with a different statement. He says, mind is not actually fickle by itself. What makes it fickle? The emotion behind it. So this is true. The relationship, the marriage of mind and emotion is very intense. At times, you have to take care of your emotions to calm down your mind. At times, you calm down your mind to take care of your emotions. So it could be this way or that way, depending on the situation. You would have to handle that. At times, it is just for that moment, just quieten your mind, and then eventually take time to clean up your emotion. Because if you're hurt and that makes you crazy, for a while, you have to calm down your mind. And then, because that hurt might need more effort, more energy, more time to be healed. Yes.
Vandami, so if you're in a very blissful state and your emotions are on a very high level, do you also want to then calm them?
So, what do you mean by emotion in a blissful state?
So generally you've been talking about like negative, like you sometimes emotions are fearful and angry, but sometimes emotions could be also on a very positive side, that you've now been in a very restful, peaceful state, very meditative state, and emotions are very, you're feeling very blissful,
emotions?
you're feeling very blissful, you're feeling very compassionate, you're feeling all these positive emotions are coming.
So there is a problem here with Jainism, in the sense that we have three groups. One, negative emotions. We all understand that very well. The other one is positive emotions. And the third one is beyond emotions. That is bliss. Bliss, in a way, is not an emotion. If you go by the actual thing, right? Because when we talk about emotions, if there is love, there is hate, right? These are opposites which have their opposites. And in our social world, we think love is good. Fine. But in the spirituality, bliss is a different state where it's neither negative emotion nor positive emotion, because rag and dvesh, both are traps. If you go by rag route, you could be fine in the social world. But in the spiritual world, even that is a trap. So to go beyond rag and dvesh is bliss. If you're in a state of bliss, if you're in a state of extreme devotion, you're fine. But at times, even devotion, we are having that rag component there, obsessive thing. My pratima, right? For example, or this is my Digambar Pratima and this is my Shwetambar Pratima, and like different kinds of holding on. This is our temple and this they are not allowed here and stuff like that. So what is happening here? There is devotion, but that Ra is still flowing with that channel. So there is problems there. So when we talk about heightened state of spirituality, bliss state, it is beyond these two clutches. So actually I will stop here and we'll go into further details of mind of I mean Achashi has taken good enough number of verses here to explain more about mind and how we go through the journey of beyond mind as well, and the causes of the problem of mind as well, right? So I'll stop here for today. We can take one more question if there is any.
So, where does Madhyasthata come? It's not high, not low. Is that the blissful state or not?
Yes. So for example, Madhyastha Bhavana, right? Madhyastha Bhavana is a bhavana where a person is neutral in any situation. It's not easy, right? If it's a birthday of someone and you don't greet the person with happy birthday with loving card and stuff, and you say, okay, I'm Madhyas, I'm neutral.
Well, you give, but not that with that intense happiness. Or you do it because
Yes, so
you
there
just
is
have
the
to do it.
thing. Yeah, so doing the act, but with detachment.
Yeah.
To learn that is the greatest thing of the life, basically. If you are able to do it, you don't have to say that I'm detached, I'm doing it to the
No.
other person, right? You'll be in trouble again.
that you know within.
Then why do you do it?
Then you take Diksha.
Exactly.
Maybe you can join us here. This is true. You don't expect others to do anything for you. Because the moment you have the detachment, if someone doesn't do anything for you, if you don't have a special surprise party for a special birthday, you're all happy and fine. Why? Because you have that inner detachment come to you. So that inner detachment, of course, is good when you apply it with others, but then it's very valuable, especially when it comes to our own life, when we have expectations from others, expectations from ourselves, expectation from life. You've done a lot towards reaching a point in your life, and then you're not seeing what you were expecting. It's not happening. Your dreams are not coming true. No matter what comes up, the mind has lot of masala, lot of stuff to think, go astray, wander around. But the moment you're detached, it gets calmed down. It doesn't have enough to run around. That ability of detachment, that ability of seeing with neutrality, if we are able to go by the method of Preksha, right? Just choose 10 seconds of Preksha for any small issues and at least few minutes of Preksha for big issues. You'll see things kind of getting milder and finding better ways. Fine? Okay, so we'll continue with the journey of mind. You can come with more questions for the next session and then we'll explore more. There are a couple of announcements.